Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you decide to listen to our Financial Friday. I brought my main man, the guru himself, on our Financial Fridays, a new podcast that him and I are starting because he tells me so many amazing things all the time. I'm just like, why aren't we using this to share with our real estate agents? Because this is gold. I'm like, I don't even know anything about this type of stuff. And so we created Financial Friday that we're bringing in Christian Teesson in here. Christian, what's up, brother? How we doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here today, but also to just keep on keeping this series going into the future so we can share ideas and we can help real estate agents in particular turn, what's an incredible industry, an incredible job opportunity for high income potential into true long-term wealth that works for them, that doesn't just, translate into the high income, lots of stress, high income, lots of stress, but actual true wealth that builds a legacy and builds stability in their life. So I'm excited to be here today.
Yeah, man. How many of you right now listening have that roller coaster? Make some money, so excited. Oh, damn. I just freaking spent it all and I'm back being broke again. Make some, oh, damn. Like, how many of you are in that? Put a comment in the chat. Put a two in the chat. If that is you, that you are like, that is me. You're speaking to me. And don't be embarrassed by putting that because you're helping other people because they feel so alone. Like, am I the only one? No, I've done it many, many years of living that type of lifestyle. And so that was another reason why we're doing actually a happy hour event. Christian and I are speaking. I'm speaking on the artificial intelligence and in being authentic to get more leads in real estate. And Christian's going to be talking about how to use these taxes that you all have, right? How many of you get excited about taxes, but not using it to generate wealth, not using it to the advantage that there are opportunities here for you. And so there's going to be a link here that I want you guys to click on. It's free. We got sponsors. All right. It is drinks, you got some beer, get some wine and food. So it's going to be the last Tuesday of April that from 5 to 7 at 11 Lakes Brewery. So definitely click the link. But let's get into today's subject that we have here. And I told Christian, I said, Christian, you said something to me right before this show that I want to put in a storyline to help people make this really relatable. So when you said something to me about real estate agents have a gift, we have a job, and we're not using it to its full potential. How many am I speaking to right now that you're like, yeah, maybe what am I missing? What am I in? And so here's my story that I came up with. How many of us know or have heard about a chef, an amazing cook? They work at a restaurant, they prepare amazing foods. This actually happened to Derek Green. He's one of our leaders on our mindset show. And he cooks for hundreds and thousands of people because that's his job. And guess what happens when he goes home? He actually uses the gift because when there's events or something else, what does he say to his family? I'll cook. I will use the tools that I have in the kitchen and I will cook for my family. I will cook for an event because people say, hey, man, just like Derek Green, Derek, you make waffles and whatnot. And guess what he did at our event? He made waffles for everybody because that is this gift that he has of being a chef. And real estate agents, you are helping hundreds of people build wealth with their appreciation in their homes. You're helping them with their investments. You're helping them buy homes, other properties. And here you are on the sideline, not doing it yourself, not coming home just like the chef does. He comes home and he cooks for his family because he's enjoying it. And you're missing out on an opportunity. And Christian, when you said this, I was like, oh my Lord, how many real estate agents aren't using the gift that they have, the career that they have to be able to build their own personal wealth? And they're on the sidelines. And it's time for you to start helping yourself all. And Christian is the person that can help us with this. So, Christian, as I segue into you, What does that mean to you, or how can we help real estate agents? Just give them a little taste of the ice cream. I know we're doing it in a couple weeks, but a little bit about how they can start helping themselves and generating wealth using the skills and their tools that they already have.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the idea for this book that I'm writing, The Real Estate Agent's Wealth Blueprint, came about because over the years, I've talked to dozens, if not hundreds, of real estate agents. And one theme consistently pops out. It comes up all the time. In fact, it just happened last week. I was talking to an agent who's in the LA area in California, very high, one of the most expensive price points in the nation. And he said, I've generated millions and millions and millions of dollars in commission over my lifetime, and I don't really have much to show for it. It's like, yeah, I have my house and maybe an investment property, but
Right.
I see this so often. So many agents, there's such a incredible opportunity to have high income, but high income doesn't necessarily translate into wealth. And the fundamental problem I see is that when in the real estate industry, there's coaching, there's incredible coaching that's necessary, like what Brock does with his students. They're teaching you on the marketing side, the real what I call the real estate side of the real estate business, right? Negotiations, contracts, how to close deals, how to market houses. But we're not taught, and you can ask yourself this: have you ever gone to a class on financial management for real estate agents? Have you ever been to a class about wealth building, taxes for real estate agents? The answer is likely no, right? You even look at like the continuing education, it's all the real estate side of business. It's not the business side of the real estate business.
Mm-hmm.
And so
So true. So
this is
true.
a huge blind spot in the industry. And one of the big problems comes is if you go and you talk to a traditional financial advisor, they are designing strategies for people generally that have W-2 jobs. They've got consistent income, right? They can their taxes are taken out every paycheck. They can afford to put 5-10% away towards a 401k and have that money locked away for 10, 20, 30 years while it grows in the market. But for real estate agents, you have this volatile commission, right? It's up and down. You might close 3 deals in one week and not close another deal for 6 or 7 or 8 weeks, right? There's this volatility. So that traditional way of planning and strategizing doesn't really work out. On top of that, we've got some of the highest taxes that any profession pays. In part because, well, two main reasons. Real estate agents generally don't have a ton of expenses like other businesses do, but also we have self-employment tax, right? And so what
Right.
happens is a lot of the potential wealth building is gone through taxes, right? And these traditional strategies don't really account for that. And then finally, almost every real estate agent I've ever talked to is or would like to be a real estate investor at some point. But if you talk to traditional advisors, what do they tell you to do? They tell you to take your money and either put it in the market or put it in 401ks, put it into accounts that lock up your money for 10, 20, 30 years. And the problem becomes when there's incredible opportunities like we just saw 5 years ago with COVID, where you had interest rates at 2%. That is a golden time to be buying real estate. But if your money, like mine was locked away in a 401k, I paid my 30% tax plus a 10% penalty on my money just to buy an investment property. So I paid 40% of my money just because I was using traditional wealth building strategies instead of strategies that allowed me to leverage my real estate expertise to grow my wealth. And so this is one of the main problems I see is that we have to understand that agents have a very unique skill set in that you understand one of the best investment potential vehicles there is, which is real estate, right? I think everybody would agree with that. And traditional strategies kind of separate you from that expertise. And so what we do, with Brock and with the coaching is line up the expertise that real estate agents have with that incredible wealth building tool, real estate, and allow you to maximize your knowledge, your skills to build wealth for yourself.
I think the, for those that I really want you to lean into this. This is an opportunity, y'all, that you're already doing it for other people. We just don't know how to do it for ourselves. Or we say we don't have enough money. Or I can't buy an investment portfolio. I mean, I don't know about you, but The IRS, no matter what I got going on in my life, good news, bad news, financial problems, blessed with abundance of money, guess what? They still tell me in April I owe them money. I still have to do something in April with taxes, no matter what my circumstances are. So take that exact same mindset and say, you know what? I'm going to do something for myself this year. I'm actually going to learn. Yes, you know what? I'm going to cut myself down. Be like, okay, it's not all about scripts and conversations. It's all now about FISBOs and expires. It's not all like that is ingredient because you need to do that to make the money. But when you make the money, we don't have classes or we're not engaging at that level to understand what should I do with my, well, I'm supposed to put 20% here, 10% here. That's just because that's the traditionalist. That's just told what we're supposed to do. But there are other opportunities that we already can go and use to be able to build generational wealth. How many of you want to take care of your kids? How about your grandkids? Build a legacy of wealth. So that way, when you're 90 years old, 80 years old, however old you want to be, I want to live till 92. I don't know why, Christian, but 92.
Good
But
age.
if I barely can like walk and I'm trying to get there and I see my grandkids running, and we're staying at the beach house because I decided at 46 years old to start learning my money, that's going to be a good feeling. But it's too late at 92 when you have to tell your kid, all right, everybody chip in. Everybody, you pay 2 grand, you pay 2 grand, you pay 2 grand, you. No. How about we live off of my wealth because I made better decisions and I got around the right environment to help me with that. So without getting more into it on our Tuesday, the last part, guys, you got to click on the link. How many of you want to be part of this? Put in the chat, put yes in the chat, put yes in the chat if you want to be a part of this. And we're going to get that link over to you. Okay, it's free. Christian, tell them a little bit about your book and let's close this thing out.
Yeah, so the book I'm working on it right now, working through the editing phase. Writing is easy, cutting it down, cutting out the unnecessary stuff is the hard part. So working on that. If you guys want a preview of that, you want the first 2 chapters, I'm getting ready to send that out to people this week. But this is what it's about, guys. It's about turning that high income into lasting wealth. You do it for your clients, you advise them. You know that real estate is an incredible opportunity, but most agents, they're on the struggle bus their whole life. You see a lot of agents working a very long time, and luckily this is an industry. It's not necessarily hard on your body like coal mining would be. So you have the ability to work into your 60s and your 70s if you want to, but you don't have to, right? And so Tuesday at the event, we're going to be talking specifically. We're going to dial into taxes a little bit. I'm going to be talking about tax strategy. There's tactics and there's strategies. Strategies are kind of the underlying concepts that are very important to understand. Once you understand those, the tactics are always changing, right? Tax laws are always changing. So it's not necessarily the most beneficial to talk about specific tax strategies or tactics, I should say. Strategies is what's important. And once we understand the strategies, then we can start talking into tactics, because one tactic might work for this person, but it's not going to work for that person, right? So the strategies are universal, the tactics are individual. So we will be diving into that that Tuesday when we're talking about using taxes instead of having it be a tax bill, money that goes out of your pocket, how to actually turn your tax bill into a wealth building machine. So I'm very excited for that. And yeah, Brock, thank you so much for having me on today. I appreciate it.
Well, listen, bud, we're doing this every 2 weeks, so you just better be ready to strap in. For
I'm
those of
ready.
you who do not want to miss one of these episodes, hit the subscribe channel to my YouTube page, so that way you get notified, so that way you know exactly when our next one's going to be. But every 2 weeks, we'll be doing it on Friday, and if you miss it, you can always watch the recording. All right, all, we appreciate you being on here. Christian, we're going to put it in the chat, but tell them how they can get in touch with you.
You can reach out directly. Phone number is 805-459-9834. Website is redtailfinancialservices.com. However, I'm making some significant changes. I'm excited for this change. I decided to really hone in and help real estate agents specifically. I was targeting kind of all businesses before, but there's a very big need in the real estate industry for financial strategy. So I'm excited. The website will be changing quite a bit. But yeah, that's where you can reach me.
Awesome. Awesome. Guys, Appreciate you guys being on here. If there's anything I can help you out in the real estate world, maybe you're looking for a change. Maybe you're looking to grow in whatever capacity that might be. Maybe you're tired of saying enough is enough. You can click a link right below. You can get in touch with me on my calendar app, as well as look me up on Facebook, Instagram, and of course, YouTube on here. So appreciate y'all. Guys, this is our episode before Easter. So happy Easter. Have a blessed and safe and happy Easter. Christian, to your family as well. Appreciate y'all for being on here, and join us in a couple weeks. And hopefully we see you in 2 weeks at 11 Lakes Brewery live in person for our happy hour event. All right, all. Have a good one. Thanks, Christian.
Thank you.